Welcome to FedScoop TV and our special series on advancing government in the cloud. I'm your host, Wyatt Cash, and we're here today with Jay Huie. Jay is the Director for Secure Cloud Portfolio at the Technology Transformation Services at GSA. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Wyatt. I'm glad to be here.
Great. Let's talk a little about your view of cloud computing. How do you envision cloud computing and maybe more specifically, software as a service and platform as a service, being able to help either your group's ability or the customers you serve in advancing digital government over the next year or two?
I think it's a great question. Obviously, digital government and citizens' expectations for government just continue to grow. You know, the pace of technology and the ways in which citizens can interact with technology advances. I have a colleague who's working on sort of smart assistants and artificial intelligence, and he is fond of saying we're in kind of a post-website world, right? Our citizens, our constituents, you know, other countries, they expect to be able to ask a question of government and not have to navigate, you know, 15 different websites. And I think the way in which cloud enables that is both, you know, cutting costs, but also improving the kind of course of action that agencies can take and sort of engaging with citizenry.
Terrific. Now, talk to me a little bit about, as you counsel other agencies migrating their IT operations to the cloud and those capabilities, there's sort of a technical lift, we know, but there's also a change management component. What steps do you see being able to offer or agencies taking to successfully navigate that sort of change management component?
I think change management is a great question, particularly around the culture in the workforce and just, you know, the skills sometimes that are required. I think of GSA as kind of a full stack agency, right? You know, last year, GSA started up the Technology Transformation Service kind of with this recognition that technologists were as integral to success of programs as buildings and acquisitions. And we have just a fantastic place to work, as well as our CIO, David Shive, who's like a fantastic role model that we can kind of engage with in agencies. So I think of it as this full stack approach, right? When agencies struggle and they say, well, the technology's the challenge, or security's the challenge, or acquisition's the challenge. You know, I love being able to reach into FAS or OGP and bring whomever it is within GSA to say, you know, here's how we can accomplish that request, you know, in a way that's totally in line with all the standards and policies that we have to meet as the federal government.
But being a change agent for agencies, can you share a little bit about how you help them prepare, how you help them plan ahead for change management to make your partnership with them successful? Yeah,
and in a way I'd say there's a tendency to overplan in government, or they plan too far ahead. And a lot of times I've seen this with, you know, enterprise architecture or cloud securities, where somebody is asked to create this 10-year cloud strategy. And, you know, they've not been able to even touch cloud in their agency, right? The CISO has said no, or they've not had acquisition funds to do so. And so what we first try and do is just carve out that safe space and the recognition within CIOs that it's okay to experiment. You know, the industry's fond of saying fail fast, and in government I don't particularly like the term failing, but I think learning is an important piece. And so I try to encourage agencies to identify experiments and run those experiments, right? Industry talks a lot about lean and agile and DevOps now. And that's really just new words for what we call integrated project teams. You know, we've used that term in government a lot, and getting people together to find out how technology can or can't apply to meet the mission.
Terrific. Tell me, moving on, how do you envision cloud computing services actually helping to advance or even transform services for agencies over the next couple of years?
I think it's tremendous. You know, I'm always fond of the Henry Ford quote where he said, if I asked customers what they wanted, they would ask for a faster horse. And so I think sometimes there's a tendency to think about, you know, cloud as somebody else's computer, and it's just this one-to-one swap. It might be a little faster, but I think the paradigms are huge opportunities for fundamental transformation of the business processes, the ways we engage citizens and across agencies with each other. And that's, for me, the fun, when you can kind of have that conversation around, you know, yes and, you know, cloud, yes, it's a utility, and it enables all these new things.
And finally, what one or two things would you change if you could to facilitate the adoption of cloud computing or advanced digital government capabilities using cloud computing?
I mean, I don't even know that there's things that require changing, except so much as just people's perceptions, right? You know, it's easy to say, here's how it works, and that might have been true 6 months or 12 months ago, but we all need space to kind of make sure that the assumptions we hold are valid. And I guess if there's one thing to change, it was something I learned from another CIO where he said, the only failures are not to try, not to learn, right, or to do something really stupid. And that was a commitment to his team that he was going to allow them to do that experimentation and to just have that safe space to learn about these new technologies. And that's, again, where GSA can play a part. We have the ability to have these conversations, to leverage insights from across agencies as kind of this nexus, and I find it's really a great place to be.
Well, Jay Huie, thanks so much for stopping
Appreciate
by,
it.
sharing some of your insights, and wish you continued good luck in your endeavors.
Thanks, Wyatt. I appreciate it.
Terrific. On behalf of FedScoop, I'm Wyatt Cash. Thanks for watching.